Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wrestling with the Paranormal. And today, you will find out about the Clearwater Ranch and find out how clear their water really is. And it's very, very murky. Oh, I didn't push it? Oh.
I'm no expert, but I feel like the enlightened one needs an haircut.
The enlightened one, he hates the barber. Did you
Does
know
he?
that?
I did not know
He
that.
hates it. He hates it. He gets in the chair, he starts squirming. You got to get him a lollipop, and he kind of calms down after that. Welcome, everyone, to Wrestling with the Paranormal. I'm, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, paranormal son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Woo! And I am, of course, the magician. And this is the only paranormal show made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans.
I think that's something to say that because we're the only one of a kind thing. That's pretty special, I think.
Exactly. We've got to be unique around here, haven't we? Oh, we've got some. Is this your first one today?
It's my first one today. I'm not going to say the name because they're not paying us. So,
but if you want to sponsor the show, get in touch.
Yes, if you recognize that can and you're a corporate daddy, send us your money.
There you go. There you go. So, how are you anyway? Obviously, I know you've still a bit injured.
Yeah, I'm getting better. How about you?
I am very, very well. I mean, obviously, I had the cough over Christmas, but you know what? It's time to go, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what do we got on the show today?
Well, we of course got two amazing videos in the vault. We've got our favorite segment with our sexy friend, Mr. Isaacs, Below Truth. We're going to travel around the galaxy for some galaxy news, and then for our main event, we're going to go and talk about some stories from Clearview Ranch. If I said that right?
You know what? The Enlightenment called it Clearwater. Clearwater Ranch. He messed that up.
Bless him. Bless him.
Clearview, not Clearwater Ranch.
You were half right.
This Clearwater, I said it too. This Clearview Ranch, it's crazy.
Absolutely. We'll obviously get that to the main event, but this is probably one of the most creepiest stories, and you'll see why when we get into our main event.
Yeah, it's like an all-star team of paranormal action.
Absolutely. Not once, but two, but
yes.
You've got it all.
And of course, we're going to start off one of our favorite sections of the show. It looks like it's time to open up the vault.
Do you know the combination? Well, of course. So this week, what have we got in the vault?
Say it again.
What?
Say it just like you said it on the recording.
Do you know the combination?
It gives you the grief. So yeah, I was scouring. I wasn't scouring the web. I was scouring the back of the vault for this, and of course I came out with a bar of soap with a bite out of it.
Dallas, is that yours?
I don't know. And I also found some whips and chains. I don't know who owns those. But I also found two videos.
Okay.
Some of it. So let's play those because they're pretty interesting.
Okay.
First one's first. Now this is I'll set it up. This one's a dog that changes into something else. Watch.
Have a watch. What the?
Yeah, you can see it. He changes into an orb and flies away. We're just gonna play it again. This is
What the?
I
Do
don't
you
know if
see
they
how
can
the
hear us right now.
no? Do you see how the actual dog jumps back a little bit before it flies off? It like jumps back a little bit and then vanishes.
Yeah, they still up for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they can hear us right now.
I've no. I can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear it. So that was the dog that turned into an orb.
Did you actually see though when
You,
the
we were
dog
watching
jumped
this. You
back?
made a comment about that.
Yeah. Can you actually see the dog jump back before it
Yeah, it
jumps
looked like
up?
his legs were kind of.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it seemed like he kind of leaned back, right,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of get that extra oomph.
Extra oomph. That's a good
So do
word.
you think
That's the
this is
word of the day.
legit?
No, I don't.
Oomph.
I think that oof. That's a big word. No, I think that it's like two videos combined. I think like there's somebody shot the video of the dog, and then after that, it's kind of like with the obviously just the snow thing and kind of combined them both.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like,
It's just the thing where the dog actually jumps back and then jumps up. It just kind of weird.
but we know that this is very plausible for a dog to turn into an orb.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because
I'm not denying that.
because we've seen stuff like this and heard about stuff like this in different shows, right?
We have.
So it could be faked, but it very well could be real.
There you go.
Yeah. So here's our next video. Now this video, I believe, is the Grey Woman of Cambridge Park. I think this is in England.
Oh, okay.
So legend says that she was murdered and she haunts Cambridge Park.
Ooh.
So people say they've seen this before and they got this on video. Here it is.
What the? Whoa. That is sent shivers down my spine.
Oh, you're not doubting this one, eh?
No, I'm not. You know, when you first actually
So what do you
watched
think
that,
about this video, Ian?
it's giving me really these shivers. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, ugh. What's going on, Joseph? Thanks for stopping by as always.
And we have Eric Newcomb.
Yeah, baby, yeah. There you go.
I will also give you one because 2-for-1 deal here. Yeah, baby, yeah. I think he wanted the Austin Powers.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can never do an Austin Powers impression. What do you think about that video?
That one is. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's real. It gives me the creeps. I think it's real.
Absolutely.
What about you? Think it's real too?
Yeah, it's just how I felt. You know, when you actually watch videos like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed like it was coming out of the ground and kind of getting momentum to kind of stand up.
Yeah.
Could it be an animal though? An animal ghost and not the gray lady?
It could be, but I feel like if you look at the features, it fits more like a actual person.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it could be an animal, but I'm leaning more towards obviously the lady.
Yeah, I think so too. So let's get into our next segment. Here we go.
Siren.
And we're
Did I hear sirens then before that actual intro?
It was I think it was a fire truck that drove by my house.
Oh dear, causing fires now, are we?
It's not me, damn it.
Dear. Right, so obviously this is the part of the show where we take a deep dive into the wrestling world. What's been going on in the whole wrestling world? So got some nice little topics. So the first one is hope of CM Punk coming back. Now, this is still being asked to this day. Some people say Punk wants to come back. People want Punk to come back. Some don't. There's so much divide with this. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think there's a lot of money to be made if they can fix this up. Like seeing the FTR and Punk versus the Elite. Who doesn't want to see that?
I think everybody wants to see that. I mean, Mr. Isaacs obviously mentioned to us that what about bringing Punk back and just making that a actual feud with the Elite? I mean, just imagine that.
I think that would be the best way to go because you can have not only that you get FTR against the Bucks again, and you get Omega versus Punk. It's perfect.
Absolutely, but do you think this obviously story's dragged on too much? We obviously with Punk.
Well, until Punk actually is released or he's back on TV, it's not going to end.
No, I hope it does get resolved though, because I feel like it will just drag on and drag on and drag on, and eventually the fans are just gonna be like, "Can we just sort this out?"
Exactly. I think that's basically it. So yeah, he said this is what happened. Dax was saying on his podcast that he's one of the nicest guys around, and just like singing his praises. Punk would get gift cards for all the girls in the locker room, Starbucks gift cards, and he would just take a bunch of people out for dinner and pay for everyone. And Dax just says that Punk never wanted to be world champion.
That's the interesting comment. He never wanted to be world champion, but
he just wanted to have fun. He just wanted to have fun, and it seems that you got to take the belt because it's good for business, right? If your boss says the belt's yours, you don't say no.
It's still basically a top draw, though, when you think about it.
Yeah, so it's kind of similar to Bryan Danielson in that kind of way.
Yeah, it's pretty. But that's the thing, though, isn't it? I mean, obviously, Dax is saying that he's the nicest guy ever. I think Matt Hardy mentioned something saying that Punk didn't do it. Things are starting to come out saying that Punk's not being the bad guy. So it's where do you go?
Exactly, but I think that's the thing is people are multifaceted.
Mm-hmm. That's a big
So
word.
if I'm your best friend, Liam, and I treat you good, doesn't mean I'm not going to be an asshole to someone else, right?
Exactly.
Like, because people are multifaceted. Like, how you see me is not how someone else sees me. So,
but I think that's the world we're living in, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'll portray you as one person, but then somebody might portray you as something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, I learned that. Was learning that because there was this barista at Starbucks, and cute girl, always got along with me. We would show each other pictures of our cats and stuff like that. But my friend would come in with me. He's like, I hate her. I'm like, what? How could you hate her? And apparently, she won't talk to him or look at him. She just sends him cold vibes. But there's obviously something that there's this personality conflict, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. But I hope it gets resolved soon because I don't want it to drag out for another year. Because
you don't want to talk about the barista.
No. Unless you want to.
Another thing, I lost my hat. So I'm wearing a backup hat. I don't know where it is. My
Maybe.
Canadian hat, where it is.
Have you lost
I
it
got
at
the
work?
Seahawks right now. I don't know. It's probably in my room messy, so it'll probably turn up when I clean up.
You'll probably find it when you least expect it. That's normally the case.
Same with my toothbrush.
Oh dear. Add that to list. Canada Dry's hat missing. I mean, that is kind of true. Do you know what I mean? You don't get... Obviously, Punk's going to get the big bucks, as we call it.
Exactly. So he's the highest paid. Like you're the big dog. You're getting the belt.
There you go.
What else we got here?
Now, Dax and CM Punk. Now, there's this thing called the duh comment. Now, I will let you explain what this actually is.
Oh, right. So someone had replied on Twitter to Dax and his plea for like CM Punk and the Elite to kind of make up, and CM Punk comments right under it, "Duh." So in a way, he's being funny, right? But he's also saying, "Yeah, that's obvious. We need to fix this. Like, obviously, Punk is for fixing the problem."
Yeah. Do you think obviously Punk wants to fix the problem, or do you just think it's more moving pieces, as we call it?
It's so large, and if you're part of it, you don't want to be the guy who messed it all up. Everyone wants to move forward, right?
Yep.
So imagine the pop though after like he finally comes back.
What's the next pay-per-view now? Is it Revolution in March?
Yeah.
Maybe that
But
could be a little...
Would be cool if they could get that Punk and MJF feud going again.
Yeah, because that was a really good feud, and it would... The thing is, with MJF, I think it brought the best out of each other in a way.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. What else do we have here?
Now, FTR loses their AAA titles, and it's one thing to mention. Their contracts are due up in April. Now, the reason for this is there was so much, let's say, controversy in the match, and they've lost. Yeah, they've lost the titles to Dragon Lee and somebody, I can't remember his name exactly, but that's 3 losses on the bounce when it comes to FTR.
So I think they want to. It seems like I think this is talked about that they want to start going on the decline before they go on the incline again. Kind of like, you guys had all the belts, you couldn't get that AEW belt, and then they go against whoever the champs are.
I mean, that is actually a plausible thing, but you mentioned obviously. Oh, cheers for that, Joseph Graham, Dre Listico, if I said that right, or Dre Listico. That's the actual thing who partnered with Dragon Lee.
Oh, right. So speaking of Dragon Lee,
he's heading to WWE.
He lost his AAA title and then announced, "I'm going to the E, baby."
Oh, but apparently this is the interesting thing that Tony Khan already knew about this. So I don't think, is it one of these where it's one that go away?
Yeah, it's hard to. I don't think he was going to sign him.
Yeah,
I think he had more interest in Drew Listico.
Ah, okay. So here's an interesting thing then. Do you think, is this as one what's got away? Do you think this is a bad call for not signing him, or do you think, okay, fair enough?
I think they got the Mex. What is it? the guys from Death Triangle, Lucha Bros.
Yep.
They got the Lucha Bros. They got the, and I can't even say the name of them, but they got so many. Like, how are you gonna? You can't add everyone, right?
No,
they
and
got a large Mexican representation,
and it's well documented that obviously their AEW's roster is really stacked, as we always say.
Yeah, Unless you got the Ring of Honor. How long? How many is Ring of Honor gonna be? An hour? Is it gonna be 2 hours? If it's only an hour, like you can't justify a giant roster for Ring of Honor.
I really think I'd like to see it's going to be 2 hours because I don't think you'd get much in an hour. Realistically, you probably get what, about 3 matches?
Yeah, you get 3 matches and you don't get too many segments.
There you go. So,
like for me, I'm gonna order it if it's 2 hours.
yeah, would you order it if it's an hour?
No, I wouldn't, because to me, that's not worth it. Like I get Rampage for free. I wouldn't
There
pay
you go.
another $10 for another Rampage. So why would I do it for a Ring of Honor show?
I'm still interested to see what date it's going to fall on.
Yeah, that'll be interesting too, to what we do, right? Because you're like, well, I'm kind of busy that day, so I can catch a replay somewhere else, right?
Exactly. I mean, the problem is, whatever day they're going to put it on, they're going to clash with somebody. If you put it on Monday, you can have Raw. If you put it on Tuesday, you can have NXT. Put it on Wednesday, you can have Dynamite. You're going to put Thursday, you got Impact.
Well, you know what? You put it on Saturday or Friday, and you can kind of say after Rampage, stay tuned for Ring of Honor on your Ring of Honor app.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, when obviously it's an extra hour of wrestling, are people going to get bored and just like zone out?
If it's 1 hour, no.
Mm-hmm. If it's 2 hours, yes.
No, it all depends what day it is. Like, I'm down to watch another 2 hours of wrestling on a Saturday.
Oh, right. Yeah, and obviously Joseph Gray makes a valid point there, saying it doesn't matter. It's on Honor Club and can watch it whenever you want. Yeah, but still, it's going to be on.
The sales coming out. You're like, what happened? You know, especially for prediction leagues, right?
Yeah, that's probably the worst thing ever. But I don't know. I mean, we shall definitely see. But sticking with obviously the AAA thing, I mean, it was a bad night for the AEW roster because Ty and Sammy were stripped of their, I want to say, intergender titles. I can't remember the exact names for the.
Yes, because they missed some dates. Is that what happened?
No, so what happened is they were due to be on the Thursday show, but because Tony Khan actually booked them for Dynamite, they obviously can't be in two places at once, but you know.
Well, you think that would be a title that they don't need defended right away? Like, do it at your leisure kind of thing? It's not like it's a major title. It's like bottom of the card sort of belt.
No, but apparently on the show, Conan obviously announced that the title was vacated and they crowned a new intergender champions, which it kind of sucks, you know, when you double book because you're going to have to obviously go with your main actual boss.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's just how it is. AAA. Speaking of AAA, I think Natalia Markova is going to be going to AAA in the new year. She's been there before, and hopefully, like, see her get the AAA Women's World Championship.
So that is held by Taya Valkyrie. Is it the Reina Del Rey champion?
That's right. That's the championship. I don't know if it's still her right now.
It is. It's still Taya.
Okay. I got beat by Natalia.
Do you know what? I would actually pay to see that match again, Taya Valkyrie versus Natalia Markova, because I feel like that will be actually a good match.
I think Natalia Markova can put on a good match with anyone. I think she does a great job. The one she had with Masha, what's her name, Slamovich, that was a hell of a fight. I enjoyed that. Two Russian women just kicking ass.
Plus, like I said, she knows how to put on a show.
Yeah.
So,
is that it for wrestling news today?
That wraps up the Galaxy news.
All right, so that brings us to the sexy voice of the man they call the effing expert. Oh, hold on, let me see. There he is. It's time for
Bull Ultra.
What is that? Is that some Brahma Bull and Elijah Burke? Oh no, that's Bull or Truth.
There you go. So this is the part of the show where we get to hear the lovely voice of Mr. Isaacs. He tells us a story, and we have to work out whether it's bull or truth.
I call going second.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. This is Mr. Isaacs with your weekly Bull or Truth segment. I hope you guys are having a great week going into the new year. And I have a New Year's Eve themed paranormal story for you this evening. On New Year's Eve in 1920, the Drake Hotel celebrated its opening night with much glamour and tinsel. It was both magnificent and tragic. It was magnificent because the Drake was one of Chicago's most beautiful and celebrated hotels. It was tragic because, according to legend, it was the night the woman in red ended her life. On this day, a man and his fiancée, who was clad in a brilliant red silk gown, attended the gala held in the Drake's Gold Coast room. The man stepped away and did not return. So his fiancée went looking for him. She found him, enthralled by another woman, in the Palm Court parlor. The devastated woman climbed to the roof and jumped to her death. Since then, guests at the Drake have reported seeing her apparition in the Gold Coast room, Palm Court, and on the top 10th floor as well as the roof. Condemned to replay her final night, her restless soul wanders attempting to find peace with the final tragic chapter of her life. In addition to spontaneous phantom appearances in her red garment, workers and guests also get a creepy and uncomfortable feeling in the ballroom.
Ooh, okay, that's...
I don't know if I'm supposed to be scared or turned on. I don't know.
Why not both?
I don't know. A little of both, right?
Okay. That's... I think that's true. I think there's parts of that which do seem really, really true.
Okay, so what I decided, because I'm feeling the same way, I was going to go the opposite of whatever you did. So I'm going
Speak of
both.
the devil. Speak of the devil. He's in the comments.
Satan, is that you? Oh no, it's Mr. Isaac.
Good evening.
Good evening. Gotta say it like, gotta say it him, like him. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
What was that?
No idea.
Oh my goodness. So I'm going opposite with you, and I'm saying that's bull. And let's play the answer.
Are we ready for the answer? This story, my gentlemen, is bull. This story is known as Lady in Red.
So it's bull. I mean,
Oh, cut
wow.
off.
I think it cut off as it was. Damn, that's
Yeah,
gonna...
that's all we know. We got the right answer. I lucked out. There we go. No skill at all, just pure luck.
There you go. You got lucky there.
Yeah, I did, because I had no clue. Sometimes you got to get lucky, right? You can't all be skill.
There you go.
All right,
I'm just
so
reading the
that
comments.
brings us
to our where's the video?
Uh-oh. It says I am the devil. What's up, Mr. Isaac? We're having a whole conversation. What's up, Joe?
Don't mind us.
I can't get a read on Mr. Isaacs. And then we see a little smiley face. Look at that. Isn't that nice? A little conversation between the two. All right.
I love this.
It's story time.
It's story time with Canada Drive, baby.
At least my voice is in there.
Say it.
Get ready for the magic.
Whoa.
Ooh.
It's story time with Canada Dry, baby. I always used to get frustrated with Adam Cole when he'd do that because he wouldn't really tell a story. I'm like, well, that's not a story. You're just doing a promo. I was looking
miss
forward
that.
to a story.
Yeah, we're like, oh, I miss Adam Cole, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. They say he's like one of the nicest men in wrestling. I hear nothing but good about Adam Cole. Unlike his tag team partner, Bobby Fish. Did you hear the Bobby Fish joke on Dynamite After Dark?
I did not.
Should we do a Bobby Fish joke on Wrestling with Paranormal?
Have you still got the video?
There we go. Here we go. Okay, so this is the Bobby Fish joke of the week on Wrestling with the Paranormal. We stole it from Dynamite After Dark. Bobby Fish is so old. You're supposed to say, how old is he?
How old is he?
He's so old that when I told him to act his age, he just went up, he just hurled over and died. All right. We got a segment within a segment. So this is called the Clearview Ranch, and this is in Colorado. The Priestley family, with John Priestley, Barbara Priestley, their son Joe, and their son Miles, and they also had a business partner to help them buy this ranch in Colorado. That is 30 miles from the Rockies, and his name was, what was it? It was John and
Jim.
John and Jim. That's right. Thank you very much. You win a prize. See me after the show. So John and Jim, they were really into this ranch, and when they bought this thing, they bought it for a cheaper price because it was vacated for some time, and there were some mysterious things that were said about it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that happened before the Priestley family even moved there was an entire building had up and disappeared from the property.
Wait, did you say an entire building?
That's right. An entire building up and disappeared. No, like maybe they burnt it down and cleaned it up really well, but they said the building was there one day and one day it wasn't, with no explanation of where it went. So John and Jim bought this building with the family with the intent of doing business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a hum that started to appear underneath the building, underneath the ranch somewhere. And this hum would happen in the middle of the night. It would happen in the morning. It would happen in the afternoon. And it's not a loud hum. It's just an annoying hum. Like imagine you're about to fall asleep and all of a sudden this hum starts coming on. It's just kind of like dripping water in the kitchen, right? When you're like, oh, I got to get up and turn the water tighter just because it's annoying me. So that's what kind of hum this was. The other thing about this hum was it had some weird machinery noises, like a grinding and a clanking. And it was just weird. And so one day, Joe and his friend were up early in the morning to catch rabbits. And they noticed there was a buffalo that was dead on their property, and they didn't have any buffalo on their property. They had something else, and so the buffalo's head was snapped in two and turned so his horns were embedded into his back.
Oh, that doesn't sound nice.
So when the authorities came, they had no explanation for what this was. But the boys, Joe and his friend, they knew differently. Because when they saw the animal, they also saw some sort of shadowy figure by the trees. And when they approached it and started making closer, it soon was chasing them. And they barely made it back to the ranch house. And this kind of stuff went on. The parents would then, actually, John and Jim, they went out with a gun to make sure that this thing was around. And what they found was 8-inch footprints in the snow.
Oh, wow.
And these 8-inch footprints went towards the horse barn, but not quite to it. Then they just stopped, and it's like the animal just vanished. I mean, sorry, the mysterious. I guess it's more like a Bigfoot or Sasquatch character.
Mm-hmm.
It just vanished. And this is the kind of thing that would happen from time to time. A lot of the people in the neighborhood would report seeing these Sasquatch figures. And so one night, Jim and John and the mother were going to a ranch conference, I guess, to see what the best things to do when you're on the ranch. You're learning things.
Mm-hmm.
And so Joe and Miles were left alone at the ranch. And they were playing in the field, kind of close to the forest, and they saw the Sasquatch type figure again in the forest. And they saw it start sprinting at them. And they freaked out and ran back to the house again. But just before they got back, they turned around and they saw that the Sasquatch figure never left the forest.
Right, okay.
Kind of like, when you try to scare someone, you run at them and then just stop and watch them keep running. It's like it's almost like it did that. It's just kind of just trying to scare them.
Yeah.
Then later that night, the Sasquatch would be outside their house, kind of thumping around. Like he's got big feet, so he's thumping around. He's clawing at the side of their house, and he's making a bit of racket while they're kind of scared to death inside. Now, this thing is 8 feet tall.
So it's not exactly small.
If he wanted to, he could probably, like, if he was able to do that to the buffalo, imagine what he'd do to the door if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
But for some reason, something is preventing him. Like something prevented him to go in the field, and something prevents him from entering the building.
Just like a force, like stopping him from entering.
Or maybe he's not allowed.
It could be.
Like, because like often animals are killed, but then the people are unharmed. It's like they're not allowed to hurt us sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So then what other things were happening on the ranch as well? We had orbs being spotted in the sky. Now, sometimes they're over top of the forest, and sometimes they're close to the ground on the field. Now, John Priestley would see them, and he would think that someone's intruding because they think there might be lanterns or something, and he thinks someone's out on his property. So he drives out there, and just as he gets there, they dart away. So he's trying to explain this. He's thinking maybe they're different species of um, lightning bugs.
Have you seen the comment from Mr. Isaacs?
I was wondering why you're smiling.
Those damn orbs.
Those damn orbs. So they take off in the sky. He's wondering what the heck they're. He thinks they're lightning bugs, but that idea would soon be put to rest. One morning, the Priestley family is woken up by humming. Now, this is something that occurs all the time. So why did they wake up this time? Because today it was much louder and much more pronounced. So the Priestley family is all waking up to see brother Jim at the window. And Jim is looking out at something. They want to know what it is. They soon learn that Jim is watching 9 disc-shaped UFOs landing on their property.
Mm-hmm.
9.
So not 1, not 2, not 9. So there's a
9.
lot.
But yeah, 9. And so they landing on the ground. And so Jim decides he's got to see more. So he runs outside. Barbara's watching from the window, and all of a sudden, Barbara is lifted out of the air. She's now hovering in midair. She's thrown to the ground, and the spaceships take off into the sky.
The hell?
And so they're all pretty. She's okay, but she's shook. Everyone is shook. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Really, really creepy.
So that is pretty much my part of the story, and I make the tag.
Thank you very much. Now,
You grabbed that was pretty good.
you see, I'm learning. So, obviously, mine kind of follows on from mostly Canada Dry. So, a few months prior to obviously this incident, which Canada Dry just spoke about, a large cone-shaped craft had landed in the exact spot. Remember when you spoke about all the veg, like the area where it didn't grow back?
Yeah.
Yep. So this is obviously where this large cone shape was. So of course, obviously, Jim and Joe got in the pickup truck and they went to investigate. Now, they headed to the hillside to investigate where the light disappeared. But as they exited the vehicle, they noticed the glow was coming from the trees. Now, what's so interesting about these trees is where the Sasquatch was, and I hope I've said that right, actually. The year before.
Sasquatch?
Yes, so so where the lights was coming from in the trees, it was the exact same spot where they saw the Sasquatch the year before.
Yeah.
So obviously they descend the slope and basically follow where the lights were. So they're going through the trees trying to find, this actual light. Now, when they actually reached the actual point where the light was, they were expecting the light to vanish. I mean, anybody would.
Yeah, kind of like the orbs we did before.
Yes, absolutely. Now, unfortunately, that wasn't the case. The light stayed put, but the light was coming from what was described as a box-shaped object. So it's just like a box, it lights up and making an odd buzzing sound. Now, the
kind of
sound
like the humming at the house.
Mm-hmm. Now, this sound was described as beehives, like a beehive type thing, like a nest type thing.
Yeah.
And it got louder as they got closer. Now, obviously, Jim's.
You know what? I can virtually feel this right now.
Absolutely.
Like, seeing this cube thing, you're walking closer, the buzzing. Can you just imagine what that's feeling like approaching them?
Absolutely. So as Jim stood there, you had that feeling like something wasn't right. Do you know? Have you ever had that feeling when you're out and about and you
All
feel
the
like,
time, my whole life.
dear. Now, Jim, for whatever came over Jim, he sensed danger, so he did the decency thing. He put Joe back in the vehicle and basically took him back home. Do you know what I mean? Typical, making sure he's all right. Now, but
Oh wait, this isn't Joe and Jim. This is not Jim and John. This is Joe and Jim.
yes, absolutely. And obviously they all went back. Now,
What's with all the gay names?
easy names to remember, isn't it? Now, Joe, I don't know what came over Joe, but he decided to return back to the actual area, but alone. So there was nobody else with him. It was just on his own. Now, he was greeted by two strange-looking men in what was described as black flight suits. So kind of like, like they've been flying?
Right, that's creeping me out.
Absolutely. And now, Joe described it as they were expecting him, like that they knew that he was actually going to go back there.
Hold on, I just want to interrupt you really quickly.
Okay.
Could it be that they spiritually manipulated Joe when he was there the first time, and he got something attached to him to draw him back?
Yeah, I mean, it is possible.
Like if these are demons and not aliens, they can influence people to do stuff.
Absolutely, but I think the thing that bugged me with this is like they knew that he was going to go back there.
Yeah, because they pulled him back there, like they drew him back.
Absolutely. Now, these men obviously were described as slender, wide eyes, and approximately 5.5 feet tall. So they're only not too tall. Now, Jim described their appearance as off. Now, do you know what I mean by that? Like, it doesn't seem like right, if that makes sense. Like, it seems off.
Okay, so you're saying like he didn't believe it.
Yes. Now, I'm just making sure I get all my things here. Now, the interesting thing is with this now, the exchange he had with these, it wasn't like angry or aggravated. It was described as a pleasant exchange and apologies for the disturbances. This is kind of creepy. Now, you've got two people
Yeah,
here.
it's even worse that they're not trying to scare him. They're trying to mess with his head.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, these people were going to say that Jim made the right call about stepping away from the box. Now,
the alien said that?
Yes, so these two people obviously said to Joe that Jim did the right thing about stepping away from this actual box. Now, make sure I get this right. Sorry, I can't read my writing today. I don't know what's up with me today.
Please stand by. We're having technical difficulties. Watch Canada Dry Dance in the meantime. Now, back to our regular scheduled program.
Now, you really just broke. Now, as
back on track.
Okay, so now as these two people are actually talking to obviously Joe, behind them, approximately 50 feet away, a Sasquatch actually comes out from where the trees are and makes his way to the actual box. Right? So I just can't imagine two people face to face and behind them just this casual Sasquatch going, I'm going to take
this.
This
Me. I'm just getting my dinner out of the box.
Now, the Sasquatch actually made the idea thinking of taking the box. This is what this was in the Sasquatch's mind. It says, "I'm taking this box," but no sooner had he actually put one hand on the box, the Sasquatch suddenly dropped dead, just like that. So what? There's something entity-wise, in that actual thing. It's really.
I think they're putting on a freaking show.
Like a circus.
Like literally, you're going to be the Sasquatch that falls over and plays dead.
Absolutely.
They watch TV too,
Now, after this obviously incident happened, the two strange men reiterated that they should never be approached, as in the box. Yep. Now, the last thing that he actually said to obviously Joe was that they would talk again. Now,
oh, that's so creepy.
Now this Joe took this as a sign of, okay, I'm just gonna go. It's for some reason, once that comment actually came, he had the aura to say, okay, I'm going. I've had enough.
So he felt this was off to begin with, and then he hears that, and he's like, I got to get out of here.
Yep, there you go. Now, after this actual incident, lives began to go back to normal. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Now, you think this could last a few months? Do you know what I mean? Normal lives. But it didn't. Apparently, it only lasted 2 weeks before things started to get a little bit more, let's say, angry. You'll see what I mean in this. Now, early one morning, Jim's lying on the sofa. Do you know, he's chilling, he's laid back and stuff like that. Do you know, like trying to rest his eyes. Now, obviously, Jim woke up just like your standard thing. You wake up. Now, not sooner as he wanted to go back to sleep. Do you know you have that thing like where you see something like a movement from like one corner of your side?
Yeah.
Now, Jim obviously saw that. So, obviously, the problem is Jim couldn't move. The only thing he could actually do was actually move his eyes. Now, where Jim was, it's one thing to point out. He's got like patio doors, as we call them.
Yep.
Now, apparently, standing there on the other side of the patio was a very tall and thin figure wearing a helmet. That was the description. So you're talking a tall guy with a helmet.
Now, I'd also like to point out, this is 1975.
Mm-hmm.
So these are depictions of what aliens would look like then, right?
Yes.
Not what they're looking like now.
Now, after about 5 minutes and stuff like that, eventually the figure would turn and just walk away like nothing had happened. Now, the crazy thing was, once the figure actually walked away, Jim could move. Jim could literally go. Do you know what I mean? He could basically have so much like freedom again. But of course, after this incident, it's playing on his mind. Do you know?
Do you know what kind of reminds me of sleep paralysis?
It does. That's what I think. Do you know, it's really.
I think there's something paranormal about sleep paralysis.
I think there's definitely something going on in this Clearview Ranch or Clearwater Ranch.
Yes. Clearwater Ranch, our made-up ranch that's not Clearview.
Now, this is obviously two big stories, but there's also small stories which has happened at this ranch. Figures at the edge of the family's beds.
Oh.
Just imagine. Yes. Now, glowing eyes staring at them through the windows.
Yeah,
that's another one.
Creepy.
And then the other one, which is obviously you spoke about quite a few times, is the hum sounds.
Yeah, those are all creepy.
Yeah, absolutely.
The heebie-jeebies.
Yep. So I've got one more story, and I just want to point out this is the creepiest story I've ever come across. You'll see why.
Okay.
Now we're going to fast forward to 1976. Now, John invited a former colleague and family over to the ranch to stop by. It was family's birthday, usual stuff.
Yeah.
Now, John accepted a challenge to go to basically cause a stir, apparently, within the ranch.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, this is the interesting thing for me. There's a connection to precious metals within the ranch. So I'm talking jewelry, stuff like that. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
There's gold or something attached to the ranch? What do you mean?
Well, apparently there's hidden jewelry, which is like being buried.
Who buried it, though?
It could be family members. It could be people who obviously lived there before. We don't know. I mean, it's pretty interesting on this one.
And has it been discovered yet, or?
There's no comments whether it's been discovered or not, but who knows?
All right, road trip to go look for the jewelry. Let's go.
Dear. Now, as the family's obviously there was no activity, as obviously the visit was there until it hit 2 p.m. exactly, where all the lights went off in the house and metal sounds were heard through the radio and TV. Now, I just wonder, this is what came through the radio, and then this is, like I said, this is the part which really creeped me out. It simply said, "Attention, we have allowed you to remain. We have interfered with your lives for very little. Do not cause us to take action which you will regret. Your friends will be instructed to remain silent concerning us."
Wow. Imagine that just popping on your TV and radios.
Yeah, once the lights are returned, John's colleagues still believed it was a trick. Now, John's colleague is obviously an electronics expert, so the guy knows his stuff. Now, he wants to obviously take apart all the items because he was really convinced it was obviously, a trick. Now, there was nothing. There was no like plans. Everything was perfectly normal. And to this day, he still has no explanation. But after this incident with this actual message, 6 months later, the actual family would leave the ranch.
They're like, we've had enough.
Dear. I just think that, just imagine just like all the lights are off, your TV's going absolutely bonkers, and you hear that message.
Oh, I'm out of there. I'm not waiting 6 months. I'm out of there after that. I'm like, listen, I guess they maybe had to sell the ranch first, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But when you've obviously taught everything they've been through, I mean, wow. I mean, I would have gone sooner.
Okay, for you, out of all these stories, which one kind of impresses you the most? Like, which one really gets to you the most?
I think it's probably that actual, the last one I've just read, with the lights. Because once you read that message, you're like, wow. Because it's very abrupt, if you know what I mean.
It seems like it starts out slowly with the death of that buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets more crazy as it goes. It escalates. You got the spaceships landing, and then you got the 9 spaceships landing, and then you're like, all of a sudden, like, how can you take it positively that Barbara's picked up from the ground and thrown against the floor? Like, they do not come in peace.
Would you say this is one of them stories which is like sticks with us because it's really, there's so much information? Do you know what's happened?
I think this is pure demonic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's aliens at all. I feel like there's an evil presence behind that.
I think there's something buried there, which is really causing all these things. Could be actually a graveyard which is buried there, because that's a possibility.
Very similar to the Skinwalker Ranch in some ways, with the different sort of things. Like,
yeah,
they all the flying things in the sky, and it seems like when these all-star teams of paranormal things, like, you're getting Sasquatch, you're getting aliens, you're getting UFOs, you're getting things at the end of your bed. It comes down to me. I think there's an evil force at hand.
Do you think there's more than one force, though? Do you think, or is it all just one?
I think it's one force completely messing with the family.
Yeah, and the fact that it's took that long? Because is there a time frame for how long they've actually went through all this stuff? Is it about a year?
It's only a year, 1975 to 1976.
Wow,
I think they're there for a good 3 years.
Yeah, but in 3 years, that's a lot to go through when you think about it.
Exactly. Like, took us a while to explain it. So, which brings us to one of our favorite parts of the show. It is time for knowledge is power.
Sweet.
Now, why do they
You're
say
always free.
cheese?
I have no idea.
Why do they say cheese when you take a picture?
Apparently, it's supposed to be the thing where it gives you the actual green. No, don't.
Okay. Can I imagine you go to McDonald's or like Burger King or something? You're like, can I get a cheeseburger? You just smile every time. Can I get a cheeseburger?
Yeah, and you know what? Probably do that. They'll probably throw you out.
Yeah, I'd like a cheeseburger.
A cheeseburger. Right.
Every time you say cheese, you smile.
Right. This is obviously part of the show where we like to educate on the show, right?
Right.
So
tell me what your knowledge about moment is.
Right. Okay, kids, come closer. Come on. Right. So
No,
if
too
it's
close.
no, it's too close. No, too far now. Now, if you're out and about, and obviously you're on a ranch and stuff like that, and you think, I want to go into the woods, and you see a nice little box, and it's lighting up, yeah, your instinct's going to be to tell you to grab it, but, and this is a big but, by the way, don't, because you never ever know what entities you're going to be messing with, and that is knowledge is power.
All right. Hey, kids. Kind of dry here. I heard that you've been having trouble at school. Teachers on your case. Your grades are kind of slipping. Come on close. Now, if you get this little white box, you're going to do really well. You're going to get all A's. You're going to find out that there's some secret powers in that box. And it's pretty much going to kill you because you're going to drop dead when you touch it. So don't worry about it.
Like that Sasquatch.
Don't touch the box. And that, my friend, is knowledge is power. Oh my goodness, it's been such a fun show today. I really enjoyed this show. I really needed to do this show because it's just kind of gets you going. Just to have fun like that.
Of course, it gets you going for the week, and yeah. So, what we're going on the show Sunday?
So we have our year-end award show. And we're going to give out all the awards to all our favorite wrestlers. And we're going to find out who gets male wrestler of the year, female wrestler of the year, best faction, all that kind of stuff.
And
it's exciting.
It's been so hard to actually pick a winner for these. So I'm actually excited to see who's actually won them all.
You know, I don't agree with any of the winners.
Do you know?
My vote came through. Well, one of them did. But almost everyone agreed that this person should win. So I'll let you know that the one person who didn't is Dollywood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dear. And obviously, what time is that on Sunday?
That is 10 p.m. Pacific time, or 10:30 Pacific time, 1:30 Eastern in your Eastern time zone.
Exactly. Now,
and I want you guys to know that I bless every single shirt that we sell here at ProWrestlingTees.com. When I see your email that you buy it, I actually pray for the shirts, and I kind of bless them, and to bless your lives, and to make your life just a little bit more joyful, and to just put a smile on your face when you get our shirts.
There you go. There you go. Every shirt gets blessed by the one and only Canada Dry.
That's right. The patron saint Canada Dry.
There you go. There you go. So, obviously, you can head to fnwrestling.com. You can find all our social medias on there. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere, right?
Right.
Oh, hello. What's he done? It's froze.
I'm not frozen.
You look, the screen is.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going, keep going. And obviously, as Canada Drag quite mentioned there, we can head to prowrestlingtees.com/Everything Wrestling. You can buy a Wrestling with the Paranormal shirt, the Magic of Wrestling shirt, the AFW shirt, the All Everything Wrestling shirt, which the lovely Mark Over is now modeling for us there. Just saying. And that one as well. Sorry, I got distracted then.
And if you like old school wrestling, head to prowrestlingtees.com/Adrian Adonis. And this is my favorite shirt. I'm definitely going to have to get this in the new year. No one bought it for me for Christmas, so I think I'm on my own. And of course, there's this rock and roll Adrian Adonis shirt as well. I like this one as well. But I don't like white shirt. If you do, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm not really a big fan.
With that being, you don't like white shirts either? I'm sure somebody likes white shirts, and we're not going to discard at all. So with that being said, maybe say goodbye.
Yeah, that's all from me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will see you all next week. 1, 2, 3, ding, ding, ding.
And remember, just keep
fighting.
Keep fighting.
Don't mind me. I'm just looking at my list here. So, right. So, what we got? We got Sasquatch. We got caramel. We got cookies and chips. Sorry, what?
What's this list about?
These are things I can't spell.
I remember, keep on wrestling with the paranormal.